The DeltaWing is a racing car designed by Ben Bowlby and debuted at the 2012 24 Hours of Le Mans. The entry was run under the Project 56 name, composed of Ben Bowlby, Dan Gurney's All-American Racers, Duncan Dayton's Highcroft Racing and International Motorsports Association owner Don Panoz. Nissan's NISMO division provided the engine in return for naming rights for part of 2012. The DeltaWing is built and maintained at Panoz headquarters in Braselton, Georgia. History: the project began in January 2009, when Bowlby created a potential new IndyCar Series design for the 2012 season. With financial backing from Chip Ganassi, owner of Chip Ganassi Racing, the prototype was unveiled in February 2010 at the Chicago Auto Show. Ganassi and the team partners own the car and its patents. In July 2010, IndyCar chose a Dallara design instead. Bowlby then worked with Don Panoz to present the idea to representatives from the Automobile Club de l'Ouest, organizers of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. They applied for and received an invitation to race in the 2012 Le Mans race as a Garage 56 entrant, a category reserved for experimental vehicles. Despite skepticism over the project, the DeltaWing made its on-track debut on March 1, 2012, completing a shakedown at Buttonwillow Raceway Park. The DeltaWing is planned to compete at the 2012 Petit Le Mans. Panoz stated that he hoped that the car would be allowed under the LMP1 and LMP2 regulations of the American Le Mans Series in 2013, or that it would replace the REC IFL M09 as the LMP Challenge spec car. On February 5, 2013, Marshall Pruett of SpeedTV.com revealed that Don Panoz will enter the DeltaWing in the road course events on the American Le Mans Series for the 2013 season. Panoz will develop the car without the DeltaWing's original partners Nissan, All-American Racers, Michelin. Instead of the car being set to P2 regulations, Panoz will make the 2013 model to P1 specifications as well as enable the car to compete for points as a fully classified P1 entry. The Sebring version will continue to be an open-top prototype, but later versions will be closed-top. The power plant will be a 2.0L Mazda MZ-based engine produced by Permil Lan Motorsport Technologies, which is currently producing 345 horsepower on the dyno and is lighter than the RML-built Nissan engine of 2012. Future iterations are rumored to include a carbon fiber engine block. A lawsuit was filed on November 22, 2013 by the DeltaWing Consortium against the former designer of the DeltaWing, Ben Bowlby, and former engine supplier Nissan for €1 damages and injunctive relief arising out of theft of confidential and proprietary information, misappropriation of trade secrets, breach of contracts, unjust enrichment, fraud, and negligent misrepresentation. Design: the DeltaWing was designed to reduce aerodynamic drag dramatically, to allow a marginally faster straight and corner speed than a 2009 to 2011 Dallara Indy car on both ovals and road street courses with half as much weight, engine power and fuel consumption. As the name suggests, it has a DeltaWing shape, with an unusually narrow 0.6 meters front track and a more traditional 1.7 meters rear track. The car lacks any front or rear wings, downforce comes from the underbody. In 2012, the engine was a four-cylinder turbocharged direct-injection 300 bhp unit assembled by Ray Mallock Engineering with largely Chevrolet parts. The model to run at Le Mans had a 40 litres fuel tank, bespoke BBS 380mm wheels and Michelin tyres, a weight of 475 kilograms, a power-to-weight ratio of 631 brake horsepower per ton, and a drag coefficient of 0.35. The braking system weighs 13.2 kilograms, about half the normal weight for a race car. Also unique compared to other race cars is that 72.5% of the mass and 76% of the downforce is at the rear. It has a movable Gurney flap, normally not allowed but can be used by experimental vehicles. Coupe model in 2013. A coupe variant of the DeltaWing was unveiled at the 12 Hours of Sebring race and made its race debut at the 2013 American Le Mans Series round at Austin in September. The redesign was intended to bring the DeltaWing in line with Le Mans prototype P1 regulations, and to minimize the chance of the driver's head being hit in the event of an accident. There are also several other changes to the design, including the adoption of a purpose-built monocoque, and addition of a roof-mounted air intake. The car was first tested in September 2013. Competition history. 2012 24 Hours of Le Mans equals. In June 2011 it was announced that the car would fill the 56th garage at the 2012 24 Hours of Le Mans, reserved for experimental vehicles. As with all Le Mans cars, the DeltaWing was a two-seater. Marino Franchitti, Michael Crum and Satoshi Moriyama drove the DeltaWing at Le Mans. It qualified 29th with a time of 3:42.612, which was 18.825 behind the lead car. The car was retired after 75 laps following an accident in which the DeltaWing ran into a concrete barrier at the Porsche curves after a collision with Kazuki Nakajima's Toyota TS030 hybrid. The DeltaWing recorded a best race lap time of 3:45.737, rivaling some of the LMP2 teams. The car did 11 laps on one tank, that is 150 kilometers on a 40-liter fuel tank. 2012 Petit Le Mans equals. After failing to complete the 24 Hours of Le Mans, DeltaWing was granted an unclassified entry to the 2012 Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta. After rebuilding the car from a collision in practice, the DeltaWing went on to finish 5th overall, completing 388 laps to the overall winner's 394. The car also underwent testing for its potential inclusion as a classified entry in the American Le Mans Series starting in 2013. 2013 season equals. The DeltaWing was entered in the 2013 American Le Mans Series in the P1 class, now using an A per Milan chassis and a 1.9-liter four-cylinder turbocharged gasoline engine producing 350 bhp, built by a per Milan and based on a Mazda design. The team was headed by Dave Price, former owner of Dave Price Racing. The new car debuted at 12 Hours of Sebring, where it was driven by Olivier Pla and Andy Meyrick. Pla qualified the car in 15th place, 10 seconds off the pace the Audi R18 that qualified on pole, and 5 seconds slower than its nearest rival in the P1 class, but 5 seconds ahead of the fastest GT class car. After struggling with temperatures all week, the car retired in the second hour with a terminal engine failure after only 10 laps. The DeltaWing competed most of the season with drivers Meyrick and Catherine Legge. It only scored 2 times, with a best place of 5th overall at Road America. The car was notably absent from Long Beach and Baltimore. The reason given by the DeltaWing team manager, Dave Price, was, "At the moment, we're not planning to do Long Beach or Baltimore, principally because we're not convinced it would be ideally suited for those street circuits." The coupe version of the car debuted at the Circuit of the Americas race. It qualified last in P1. 8 seconds slower than the leading P1 car and was also slower than all the P2 cars. In the race it completed 66 laps to the winner's 83 and finished 29th overall and last in the P1 class. 2014 season equals. The DeltaWing began competing in the new United Sports Car Championship in 2014. The 3 drivers at the 24 Hours of Daytona were Meyrick, Legge and Alexander Rossi. Whilst the P1 class no longer competes in the USCC, the DeltaWing race team have confirmed that they will continue to run in their P1 specification of 490 kilograms and 350 bhp. 2015 season equals. For the 2015 United Sports Car Championship, Legge had a new partner in Memo Rojas, whereas Meyrick joined at Daytona and Sebring, and Gabby Chaves was the 4th driver at Daytona. They finished only 3 out of 9 appearances, with the best results of 6th at Road America. They finished 8th in the Pro Twarps team standings. See also, Nissan ZEODRC, General Motors Firebird. Notes. References: Inside the DeltaWing Project, Speed, Robin Miller, February 10, 2010, Exploring the DeltaWing Concept, The Way It Is, Gordon Kirby, February 22, 2010, Franchitti and Panoz discuss the Nissan DeltaWing, The Way It Is, Gordon Kirby, July 2, 2012, Pruett, Marshall. Project 56 inches. Race car engineering 21, 44 Euro 48. Developing the DeltaWing, race car engineering, January 8, 2012. External links, official website.